Hello, 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 friends, family. It is time for another Zoomin with Zack. I'm excited to be with you. Today is a special two episode week. So this is the first of the week. I got another one for you Friday. I didn't even announce who that was yet, so that'll come out after today's show. But I have an awesome guest here with me today, a really good friend of mine. We see very much eye to eye. We're in that network guru space. So I'm super excited to introduce you to her. But one quote that actually made me think of her and some other great people in my life. This Muhammad Ali quote, he who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life. And I read that as, you have to take those chances to be successful, to really make a huge leap. And this person definitely did. Those of you who know me know I've taken some leaps in my life as well. And just want to put that out there that, if someone's considering becoming an entrepreneur or, making a big change, sometimes investing and spending money in your business to grow, sometimes is a very tough decision to make. Make the leap. That's my word of advice. Make the leap today. But super excited to be with you on this Tuesday. Make sure you're liking, sharing the show, leaving us comments, and we're going to get right to it. Welcome to Zoom In with Zack. Welcome to another episode of Zoomin with Zack, folks. As you can see, I'm not in my normal surroundings. I'm actually back at Navitas Marketing in the conference room, which I'm hoping no one needs to have a meeting, so I didn't really book this time, but we'll see if that door behind me opens at some point. But super excited to be back around my colleagues, back working on client projects together, and just hoping it stays that way because I know it's getting a little rough in these Delta streets. So my fingers are crossed, but super excited to introduce you guys to an amazing guest and friend. It's funny, we had a little discussion on when we met and how we met, and we both networked so much that it's almost impossible to pinpoint the specific event. But I'm happy to introduce you all today to the wonderful Ashley Owens. Ashley, how are you?
I miss you, friend. I miss you so much. It's funny that we were talking about like how the hell we met. I was thinking about that scene from A Beautiful Mind, where like up against the wall, like he's absolutely crazy, but it's like everything's pointing back to like it's just the Beautiful Mind wall. That's when people ask me how do you know this person, I'm like I have no idea anymore. Like I don't. Right. Don't ask me to go back 4 years to figure this out. It's right. Just where we're at right now is what I care about.
I hear you. And it's adding on top of that, the interesting thing is like me and you are like professional networkers.
Right? Oh yeah.
And I think I don't recall where we met, but I recall one of the first things I asked you, and it was like, how do you do what you do? Because like I network for businesses, but I never really figured out how to offer networking as a service.
Right.
And really what I ended up doing, because I had a big sales background, was, I'll help you sell. But like realistically, it was I'll help you build relationships that can turn into clients. Right. And I never really figured that out. And I was so infatuated with your business and Ashley Assist. So I would love for you to explain to people what it is you do.
Absolutely. So thank you again. Yeah, we're definitely, the professional networking scene is usually never self-proclaimed, meaning like people don't go to us and say, oh, you're a professional networker. It's like, oh, you're a connector. Like you'll never hear us say that. Like you'll hear us do it. You'll watch us do it, but we'll never be self-proclaimed anything. Right. It's more of just like, we just do this thing really well. And we can help you do other things really well. But what I do, so the couple different iterations of what I do. So before the pandemic, I was actually doing boots on the ground networking. I was going to events with my clients and conferences with my clients as an extension of them. So that way they can get over the fear of networking and kind of work and, essentially play games at the event to kind of get over their fear of networking and talking about who they are, what they do, and what makes them awesome. Mm-hmm. The other part to that was the research behind the kind of events that they needed to go to, whether it was conferences, chamber events, and obviously all the other private groups that we have in Philadelphia, being able to identify the right strategic partnerships to find the right events to go to, and then also me attending them as well. Right. From there, it grew into me coaching individual sales teams and business professionals how to network tactically, because the people that I was having the pleasure of networking with all knew what they were doing. They knew how to build relationships. And that wasn't the point that I was trying to make. It was more of how do you put processes around networking so that way you can do what you do best, and network and connect the dots. So my job was to kind of give my clients time back. That was the main focus. That was the foundation of the business model. How do we give my clients the time back? So I found out that in the beginning, the act of the follow-up was the most important thing that people needed to do. So I built these templates, I reached out, I did all these things. And it became where that wasn't needed over the course of 6 months. And then I would go to events and that was needed the most. Then it turned into the pre, the during, and the post, all of that planning for conferences. So now, since the pandemic, I went from teaching people how to do in-person and online networking to solely online networking. And my network has grown exponentially during the pandemic. I've got global ties now. I'm reaching out to networking summits we were talking about this in Ireland and Scotland. And so it just built, I mean, I'm practicing when I'm preaching. I'm not sitting on my butt and just hoping for the best and saying my network will come for me. I'm continually building and growing and connecting. So my job has been educating corporate teams how to network internally, as well as sales teams how to network. They know how to sell. They don't know how to really build up their networking process, making introductions. And then a course that just came out. The last 4 years, I've spoken to maybe over 300 speaking engagements at some point, trainings, things like that, like things like this. So I know my stuff. I just needed to put it all into one specific area. So like all of the templates, breaking each moment or breaking each topic down, tutorials. I think I give too much. Like I got mentors who were yelling at me. They're like, stop giving away free stuff. Stop doing that. I'm like, okay, but I got to put it into like a nice little bow then. So I took 6 months. I put together this course, and it's a way to scale me and then still have a mastermind group, and it's great. So I'm very excited. It just came out 2 weeks ago, and it's going pretty well. It's called the How to Not Suck at Networking.
That's an ideal name.
Thank you.
And I will say you definitely don't suck at it. And I want you to keep dropping gems because I loved your networking tips that you were sharing.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I copied the style because you had a really cool thing. It was like I think your eyes were in the middle or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a nice graphic.
You're right.
So I think I used that for a client a couple years ago. I was like, what about this? They're like, oh, I love it. I was like, actually,
yeah. Well, that's the best part about like networking with each other, and like we both have different skill sets. We're all in the same sandbox. We're just building different castles. And especially around networking, because it's so subjective to each person. Everyone networks differently. A lot of people, and I'm sure you get this, dude, like all the time. Like people are so protective over their network, or they're very they think that you do too much of what they do, or I do what you do type situation, and they don't want to collaborate or connect. And that is like the kiss of death, because the best connections I've made are people that know my skill sets and say, I can't take this kind of client. Would you, reach out to them in some way and try to help them? So we're practicing what we're preaching. Like you teach networking, you are a phenomenal marketing person. I'm not a subject matter expert in marketing, but I understand processes, procedures when it comes and how to build out the right kind of networking activity. You have the branding background too, which is brilliant. So yeah, it's fun. It's just a nice balance.
Nice. And definitely for folks that are watching, check out her online course. I'm gonna throw that graphic up again.
Yeah, it's on Teachable. I think you can get the course done honestly in 2 hours. Each breakdown or each module is about 2 to 4 minutes. And then it comes with literally a checklist, templates, everything. Literally everything I could possibly provide is there. Plus more.
Awesome. So, y'all know I have my How to Network Like a Boss series, and it is not organized. It is a 30-page PowerPoint that it only can be done in person properly. So I need to take a little lesson from your book and
scale
how to make a class. Yeah.
Dude, you could probably, and we're having a brainstorming session, so everybody that's watching, just to hang out for a minute. But like, you could definitely sell your workbook, because that's the next phase that I'm going to go into. Is I'm going to take literally all of the downloadables and put it into a workbook and sell that, because that could be Super. Thanks. I'm glad, Monique. It's unteachable. I can drop the link into the comments, maybe, or I can give it to you, Zach.
Yep. No, we can put it in the comments right in on that button I showed you. Just throw it right in there. Yeah, thanks for the support, Monique. Monique's out here. She's like, yeah, no, I could brush up on networking skills. And yeah, you are one of the best, Ashley. So it's appreciated. Now you know what time it is, Ashley.
Oh, what's the time?
It's time for 3 random questions.
Whoa, I'm so excited.
Are you ready for this?
No.
I didn't think so. I need you to give me a 3-digit number, Ashley.
3-digit. Let's do 4.
No, the number can be the same.
Like in the hundreds?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you could start a number with 0 if you wanted a 2-digit number. You would just go.
Let's do 75.
So 075 is your number.
075. Yes, sir.
You're gonna regret that.
Shoot.
You want to know why you're gonna regret that?
Because this is a number? I don't know.
Because 0 is random.
Oh,
I
fun.
get to choose.
Oh
no. And you know what? I'm gonna hold your 0 till later, so I'm gonna change your number to 750.
Okay.
So you're now gonna get question number 7.
Wait, can I change? Okay, never mind.
Nope,
Okay.
no adjustments.
Okay.
7. You hit the lottery and win $100,000. How are you spending it? And you cannot give it away or donate it.
This is a 2-part question. It's going to be the fantasy, or it's going to be the reality.
Give me both.
The reality is I'm paying off my stupid school loans at 100K, because that would maybe cover most of it. And then if I'm for fun, I would put a down payment on a home, and then I would use the rest to invest in Airbnbs to continue the wealth. Is that weird? It's like just so that way I make more, because 100K is like nothing now. Like that's like a drop in the bucket sometimes, but
my bucket needs to overflow with that 100K.
I'm right there with you, but I feel like if I'm gonna make more money, like in the millions, I gotta like invest, because 100K is gonna last me, a certain amount of time. But if I can invest it into, I've been going down a lot of TikToks on like side hustles and other things.
Nice.
So it's
and we got more folks asking for your link, so I did just throw it in there.
Yeah, dude. Thank you.
So it's I'm assuming it's on LinkedIn too. You got proof on the Mind of Philly page. And shout out to Mind of Philly. I don't know if many of you know, Ashley was actually a host of a show on My New Philly, the My New Philly show when we started, which later turned into 2-1 Live. Ashley was our original host on that with Kyrie. So a quick shout out to the My New Philly gang who worked hard on that show back. Was that 2019? Yeah, back in early 2019.
Feels like 1985 at this point.
The good old days. So your next thing was what, 5? I think you did 5, right?
It was 750, yeah.
Yep. So 5. If you could go back to your first days as a business professional and give your old self one piece of advice, what would it be?
My one piece of advice would be, trust your gut. Trust your gut. Don't overthink it. Trust your gut. But let's kind of do a 2-part for that. Let's do like a logistical advice. Start saving. Like start putting away whatever it is. Start putting away. Don't put it all back into other people. Put it pay you first. That would be the advice. Pay you first. Yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't learned that one yet, but I like it. And last question. So I got the randomizer. So I'm genuinely curious about this one. So I'm gonna give you number 9.
Okay.
If you could work in another industry or job, what would it be and why?
I would be a waitress.
Oh, you knew that right off the bat.
I did. That's my retirement idea. I loved the mindless. It's not mindless. I loved the physicality of it and how quick I could connect with people. That's actually how I learned how to network. Because at the time, that's how I learned. I didn't realize that that's what it was, but I got such a master class. Because I was a diner waitress for 3 years. I got such a master class in handling different personalities at such a fast pace. And that's where I learned how to, my red lipstick came from a Harvard Business Review article saying that women who wore red lipstick while they waitressed got better tips. So that's where I came from. And the only way I got out of being a waitress, because I worked in as a celebrity personal assistant in New York. Then that didn't work out. I came back to New Jersey and I lived with my folks, which was another traumatic experience. And then I was working as a waitress, and I was at that time I was pretty low. Like I worked in a really good environment, and then I came as a waitress and I felt like I had failed. But yet I loved the job. I had a couple people come over to my table in my section, and they sat down and they liked how I sold them a burger because I was doing bits. It was a slow day, and I was just kind of doing the Ashley thing where I was just engaging and being a comedian for like 5 minutes. They liked how I sold them a burger. So the next day they came in and said, "Can we have your resume?" And I said, "Thank you, but show it in the tip. Show it in the tip. Thanks so much." And I just disregarded them completely. He came back again the next day and they said, "Please give us your resume. Like, we'd love to hire you." So they plucked me from being a waitress, and I worked in online e-commerce furniture. And it was just because I was myself, and it was one person gave me a chance. And that's what catapulted me from working in New York to working in Philadelphia. Yeah. Wow. These guys, that was InMod Furniture. Those guys I will credit. The reason why I'm here today is because one person saw value in me more so than I saw in myself.
That is so fantastic.
Isn't that I love telling that story because like I got super lucky, but I would not have been in the same place if it wasn't for those guys who saw my value. And I knew that if I was going to start a business, that was 10 years ago. That was like a long time ago. If I was ever going to start a business, I was going to do that. Meaning like I was going to never not try to connect somebody, try to provide some kind of perspective, try to provide some kind of resources that I've learned over the years, because I didn't ever want them to feel like, because that one idea or perspective could have changed their life. These guys saw value in me before I saw value in myself, and it changed the course of my life. So
awesome.
I take every phone call, every meeting, everything, because I never know whose life I'm going to change.
Here's what I hate about that story. I've never heard it before now. So for that to be a story you love telling, I'm like, yo, I didn't know that. I'd love you even more now, Ashley.
Oh, thanks, dude. But yeah, I would go back to being a waitress because I love regulars. I love talking about I love just the conversation, and food is where people are, their guard is down, and you get more from them as far as the vulnerability, and you feel more. I feel more human when I am serving food, frankly. So yeah,
it's a great place to connect. I know someone told me something about how you should have like a certain amount of dinners with someone before you become their partner. Like, yeah, you should do that, because food is, you bond over food. You have those conversations, and if the waitress is going to chat with me in the process, and especially if she's not being annoying, like I bond with the waitress, and now like that made me want to come back to the restaurant again to have that similar experience. Totally. So I fully get it. I actually always thought that I would enjoy that job. I've never done it, but I feel like I would enjoy it because of the people aspect. So
either that or being a bartender, like at a nice restaurant. Like, I mean, I loved the diner feel, because the morning rush, like I was done by 3. I had the rest of the day, and like you've got the old ladies in the morning, you've got like the kids and the family, and like as long as you had it under control, it felt like it was controlled chaos. And I thrive in controlled chaos. It's my favorite.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the job I would have.
Awesome. Well, no, great answers as always. That's exactly what I expected. I'm super excited that you were able to join me today and come through. And then before I let you, might use this as your closing remarks, but I'm gonna plug it one more time for folks to check out How to Not Suck at Networking. I haven't taken the course, but I know the person hosting it, so I know it's an amazing course. So check her out. The link is in the comments below. And with that, I leave you all. I am always available to chat with folks in case you want to have a marketing discussion, in case you want to produce a show like this for your own business, a podcast, anything like that. By all means, please reach out to me. And with that, I will see you all Friday, and I'll leave it to you, Ashley, to take it away.
Thank you, Zack. Thank you, everybody, for watching today. My name is Ashley Owens. I am your personal networking concierge, and I have a course called How to Not Suck at Networking. It'll probably take you 2 hours to get it, even though it says 6 weeks, but you get this personality. It's a lot caffeinated, shot of tequila if you'd like, but you get everything on your tactical and practical tips on how to network with intention. So I hope to see you enrolled. And then you also get access to a mastermind group where basically it's an open office hours for an hour. You get to meet with the other students and we get to talk about your networking activity. And if you don't feel like taking the class but want to work with me individually, I do individual coaching. I swear it's easy. It's a lot of fun. You can be in your pajamas. You don't have to wear pants. It's a thing. So thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you later this week. Mostly Zach, not necessarily me, but thanks.